What did we do to our mini Winnie Winnebago? We'll tell you in a moment on Clark Adventures. Good afternoon, adventurers. Welcome back to Clark Adventures. Dean and my wife Chris off camera. We're staying in another Harvest Host. This is Adelaide Botanicals, just west of Paso Robles. It's a farm, a family farm, and they have chickens over here, the goats over here, and I don't know where the bees are, but they do have honey and CBD salves available, walnuts, eggs from the chickens. We got a little market right behind me, and a nice little garden to hang out in the shade. It's quite warm. It's about 90 degrees today, but in the cool shade, it's tolerable. And we'll show you around a little bit and show you some of the drive-in. So we sat and enjoyed the shade over by the little farmer's market there, and then we walked back to the RV. And we got back here, it's quite warm, so we did fire up the generator, turned the AC on because it's now 93 degrees, and switched to shorts and doffed some of the clothing to cool off a bit. We'll go around the RV and show you some of the upgrades we did since we acquired the Mini Winnie. So starting on the inside, you can look at one of our earlier videos to see what Minnie looked like. When we first acquired her, everything was pretty much brown and dark colored, like a wallpaper. That got painted over, white walls. We took all the cabinets, doors and drawers off and painted those white, except for the lower cabinets, which we painted a dark blue. We removed the countertop in the bathroom and the kitchen, and my brother-in-law Tom crafted a kind of a similar to a butcher block, but it's made up of maple plywood done in squares and glued together, and that's what we have on the table, the kitchen, and here in the bathroom. Did have to trim off part of the bathroom counter so it's a little more comfortable to sit in the toilet. And since we're in here in the toilet, you can see we totally upgraded the sink. It was basically your plastic inside the countertop sink. We went with a vessel style sink with a vessel faucet. We ended up also replacing the toilet, which was a plastic Dometic. Now it's a porcelain throne, and very comfortable. Replacing all the hardware. One of the things we also did was the little tiny fan has been replaced with a Max fan in the bathroom. Some of the hardware we found at Goodwill. Those were originally I think a silver or satin nickel color, but we spray painted them bronze, and like the white porcelain features, and that's for the robe hook, as well as the hook there on the counter, and the toilet paper holder as well. So those are all matching set. Painted the frame of the bathroom window to match the lower countertops, which we also did dark blue in the bathroom as well. And same thing with the towel rack on the back of the bathroom door. Still to be updated is the shower. It is still the original plastic, and it has been kind of just, you can see we just some tape some tape to fix any cracks or broken. We did have to replace the dome above the shower. That is a new dome, and we cut out, it was a double, we cut out the inside, and then it has some lights inside of there as well. And the bathroom, or the bedroom, sorry, has been updated with some roller shades and curtains on rods. We ripped down all the current existing shades that were here, painted those all white as well, did the cabinet, pull-out cabinet drawers in the blue to pick up the blue, did a blue shade with the idea and design of which we got from RVing with Tito. It's you can go back, he has the how to make that shade. It folds up, it's got some metal strips and magnets in the top which hold it, and if you search his video you might find that how to make that as well. Again, another curtain on this side, same thing over there with the cabinet drawer. We have the dark oil rub bronze pulls on pretty much everything, and that's the matching. We mounted a TV in the bedroom, and it does have a mount, and I did do a video on this. We just keep those bungee cords to hold it against the wall. I did bolt the TV mount all the way through the wall into the bathroom, and so it's very secure. Mounted a board to hold it, and as long as we keep it bungeed, it really doesn't move much, and it's a really nice feature. Pulled down the accordion shade and just put up a double curtain rod so we can have just basic pull curtains, 2 sets of curtains, one kind of light and one more of privacy, and that works pretty well. Our friend Mike, who did our solar system, also went through it and replaced all our lights in the RV with these LEDs, and they work pretty well. We still need to replace this. This is hard to keep clean. Junk gets inside this bedroom vent, but probably that's going to end up being taken out, and we'll probably eventually figure out a way to wire in a max fan in here as well, because it'd be nice to pull out the heat out of the bedroom when it's warm like this. Again, excuse the noise from the AC. It's very warm in here. We also you saw in a recent video I made this top to cover the RV stove, but we did pull the countertop, just cleaned, or put the RV range hood, the top off of it, and painted it white because it was kind of a yellow color before, but it's already starting to turn a little bit. I may pull it off and give it another coat of a white appliance paint. It's just really dirty right now. Stove, original, still works pretty good. And we did, and I mentioned in a previous video, the refrigerator, we just pulled out the wood panels, and I had some steel sheets, what do you call it, sheets? Yeah, sheet steel, cut to size and fabricated, and then covered it in some contact paper, a whole wall paper, and decorated. And it's got our collection of magnets, as well as a magnetic towel hook and things like that. We added some decorations on the wall, just a little bit of decor to make it feel a little more homey. Here's our latest purchase from a thrift store. That was a good message to have on the wall. I picked this lighted up sign a while back. I think it was in like a discount store, and you can change the letters and numbers and put whatever message you like. Of course, I want you to like and subscribe. And all the benches and couches, we of course, my wife made some seat covers for the jackknife sofa, as well as both of the dinette couches, and of course this breaks down into a bed as well, and that's really comfortable. And then another major project we did early on, pulled out the jackknife, yanked out all the carpet, and the thousands of staples that held down the carpet and pad, and put down a vinyl click flooring throughout the RV. So now it's all hard surface except for the step, which I did do a video. This is where the batteries are, right under there. And then you got the rubber step, which is original. Covered the sides. Did the same mats that I purchased at Home Depot to line some of our storage bins, which you can also find our video, Tricked Out Storage. Check that out. You can link that video in the description below. Also went online and purchased some cellular shades to fit on both sides of the RV, both of the major, the big windows in the main living area. Do have some, oh, excuse the mess up here in the overhead storage. Do have some for these windows as well, but just haven't mounted them yet. And my daughter made some reflective covers, because when she takes us to Burning Man, it's really warm, so it's really good to have some insulation in the windows, and we have those pretty much for all the windows as well. One of the windows we had to address the privacy issue right here, a little small window in the kitchen, so we ended up purchasing some vinyl film, window film, with a little more privacy, because we don't really have much of a view out this window anyway, so we just needed privacy when all the other windows were closed, and at night people couldn't see right in while we're running around in the inside the RV, because this is a sleeping area for anybody when we have more than just my wife and I. Back in the bedroom with the TV, one of the tricks I'll say I do, normally the TV is just plugged in, the cord runs across plugs into an extension cord and plugs in here when we're hooked up to power. But if we're not and we're running off just the batteries, I have a 100 volt, 100 watt is rather, not 100 volt, 100 watt converter or inverter you can just plug in, and then I can plug this extension cord into the inverter and I can watch the TV off batteries, because the TV does not pull very much wattage, so it's really convenient. And if we want to feed our phones, we can just use the smart TV and have it connect to our cell phones to watch any applications like Netflix or YouTube, right? Another thing I picked up for the kitchen, of course, we did do the this tile, or fake tile, for the kitchen to give it a nice backsplash throughout. And then I picked up these spice racks that screw in, and they're easy to mount, so I run 2 of those right in here. Also put 2 in the kitchen in the house. They're very nice to get stuff off the counter and ready, accessible right there where you're cooking, because we do keep some in the cabinets above, but those are not always right at the ready when you're at the stove, but this makes it really convenient. So in the kitchen we do have the original sink, but new countertop, and we also added a brand new kitchen faucet. It's really nice and convenient because it pulls out, has a spray nozzle, and it works really well, and very, very nice to have that flexibility. Just got to make sure it doesn't turn on when you're on the road. One of the things I did do in here originally with this cabinet, or a bank of drawers, we did take all the drawers out and repurpose them. Did these type of pulls here, because this is a place where you walk by a lot, and the others have the bar type which you could hook your clothing on. So this is like a better, this cup type style pull. And this had a one of those old-fashioned like railing, I don't know what the term is, but they had the little spindles all the way through. So we ripped that out. My daughter really didn't like the look of that, so I ripped that out. But I like to have the idea to store some stuff. Got little knickknacks in here, usually like your lighters and things like that. They're really nice and convenient there. So I just did a tiny piece of 1 by 2, and then a piece of quarter round on top, and just painted it all to match, and just put that in there, so we got a little place to hold things from falling out instead of that little open style that was there before. It's still full of kind of some random junk, bottle openers and things, but it's a junk collector. This is essentially our junk drawer for the RV. Here we are on the outside of the RV. Not a lot of changes other than added some decals and a QR code for our YouTube channel as well. Did put a backup cam up there. Our buddy Mike did that for us as well. And my daughter started removing some of the decal off the side of the RV, so it's kind of still work in progress. So we kind of have a little bit of that, added our own decal. Eventually we'll have to do some sort of treatments to the outside if we continue to stay in here. We've done some rough patches where the seams have come apart, kind of a little ghetto patch job, but as long as it works and it doesn't leak, because we did have some problems, a lot of problems with that. Sorry about the noise from the generator, but it is hot and we really need to keep that AC running or we will roast. Grabbed a thing on Amazon to cover the windows. That kind of helps keep it a little bit cooler inside, and we put that on today because of the heat. And you can see from the outside we got the window privacy film right here. It's on there, and the shades are down to keep us a little bit cooler inside. And that's the big change on the outside of the RV. Did replace, did put on a cover here. Did have covers here for those. I've actually done it twice and they seem to disappear. When my daughter takes the RV out, they just don't come back. So it's kind of strange, but there we go. There's the Min. She's just a Min now, not a Mini Winnie. Just a Min. But essentially this will be, it's all kind of cracking and it's in bad shape. So if we put another decal on here, to be a new decal, or maybe just do what other people have tried, just paint on some designs, is maybe what we'll end up doing in the future if we decide to decorate her up. But probably the only other thing out here, and I did do a video on this one as well, for our antenna pole on our, right here, you see it here, on our ladder. I did mount some clamps. These are conduit clamps you can get. I got them at Home Depot, and then I just made a PVC pole to attach our cell booster antenna to, and then when we need it or have to use it, I can just slide that pole here. It rests on the bumper. It goes about 10 feet or so in the air, and high enough to clear our AC on the roof of the RV and hopefully get us a signal when we might have just a very weak one. Well, that kind of wraps up what we did to improve the RV, our little projects and things we did since we've gotten her, in case you hadn't seen. Thanks again for watching Clark Adventures. We may show you a little video of us leaving at the end, but that's our stay here at the Adelaide Farms Harvest Host. It would be a great day if it wasn't so warm. Again, thanks for watching. See you next time.
With you, I can be sad with you. Just take my hand and fly up through the dreams where the skies are so clear. With you, I wanna stay with you. With you, I love the way that you love me today. Let's run.